Spox are a leading UK and now global company providing custom brand kits, whether that is clothing or socks. They are with you every single step of the way by bringing your idea to light. They exclusively work with fitness communities, business communities in the UK and worldwide. To check out everything that they do, head over to www.spox.uk.
I am very frustrated with the state of play in luxury travel, in the way that we are consuming luxury, instead of giving it more of a sense of purpose and thinking about values behind what it is that we do, why we do it, and why we travel.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Master Your Life Beyond The Boardroom. I'm your podcast host, Luke Beastall. Yes, we are back in the studio. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you so far on our journey with all of the episodes. Your comments mean a lot to us. Your feedback does as well. So just be sure in this episode, if it has added value to your life, if there's anything that you've taken away, drop us a like, drop us a comment, or even better, subscribe to our channel. So in today's episode, we have got, I want to say, someone that is reframing luxury travel. Her name is Kelly, and we met through social media, the power in social media. I think there's obviously positives and negatives, but we're going to stay on the positive light. She's got a business called Aru. So she's the founder of it. She's been in the luxury wellness space now for 25 years. She's all about the journey. She wants to provide experience to people and give something from a different perspective. Now, I'm going to say this quite confidently, and I'm going to introduce her in a second, is that she's doing something that not anybody else is doing. And I think that always sort of gets like your ears and eyes up thinking, oh, what is this? So without sort of going on too much more, Kelly, I want to welcome you to the studio.
Luke, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
I know, well, obviously just the audience won't know. We had a conversation. It was like November last year.
Yeah, it was.
So now
a while.
I know we're now like 8 months on. I mean, how mental is that? 8 months is just...
It's flown by. I can't believe it's here. It's upon us. I remember thinking I've got that booked in ready for just before the summer holidays. And here we are.
It's pretty mental. So obviously just the audience won't know, because obviously you've come to our Nottingham studio today. It's an absolute privilege for you to come up from Oxford to join us, because, it's not just around the corner, is it?
No, it's not. But, I've travelled all over the world. I can do a 2-hour journey up to Nottingham to be here. So thanks for having me.
No, definitely. And it's great to have you in here. So just for anyone that's sort of coming into this episode, obviously I've sort of said it briefly about, you're reframing luxury travel. You've been in the space 25 years. You are doing things differently. Could you just, let the guys know a little bit more about, what you do?
Yeah. So, I'm frustrated. I am very frustrated with the state of play in luxury travel, in the way that we are consuming luxury, instead of giving it more of a sense of purpose and thinking about values behind what it is that we do, why we do it, and why we travel as well. But I've been really fortunate. I started off when I was 18, actually, straight out of college. And worked as a luxury travel agent. And
you went straight in there?
Straight in there,
wow.
Yeah. So did GCSEs, went on to study travel and tourism.
Yeah.
Did you do a BTEC?
I did, in sports.
BTEC.
Yeah.
In travel and tourism, and then went straight into the industry. I was actually going to go to uni at the time, but I decided to go straight in, because I realised actually in travel and tourism is a lot of it's about the experience, not necessarily needing a qualification.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I thought, I could go into uni and then I'd end up with loads of debt behind that, or I could go straight into the industry and get some experience. So yeah, a long time in the industry. So for the first kind of half of my career, I worked as traveling all around the world, always in luxury. For the first 4 years, always turned left on an aircraft. The first flight I did in economy was all the way to New Zealand. Can you believe? It was a long old one.
We're going to say it's a long journey.
But we were very privileged, working in such an amazing industry and, having this experience to travel. But what I did recognise then is there's a lot of the opulence that luxury often brings, or pretentiousness perhaps as well.
Yeah, we was talking about this when
Yeah. And it was kind of, to me, it didn't quite fit right with this kind of consumption-led style of jet setting around the world. It it just didn't quite work for me anyway. I left and went traveling for 2 years,
Wow.
backpacked around the world. So I'd done from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
The opposite. And loved that. And then I started working for hotel groups when I came back, moved to London and started working with luxury hotel groups. So, and that was quite interesting. And this is where, as my journey unfolded, I did big corporate roles, and but one of the last roles that I held actually had a lot of purpose behind it. And this was the time when I realised that there's more to luxury than that kind of consumption side of. There's more about the integrity, the values behind it, the meaning. And I was working for hotels that were all about giving back. So what was nice to see is that whilst I was responsible for X amount of sales generated to those properties, what I could see is the properties were giving back. So they were helping with helping the communities throughout different countries in Africa, by helping them with equipping with the tools essentially to build their own community clinics, build their own schools, provide hippo rollers of water, install solar. And this was all a luxury guest that would spend a couple of grand a night to go and stay in these beautiful lodges and have these incredible profound experiences. But then they could take or leave, the good that was doing, in the sense that you can get involved or not. You might just want to have the luxury experience, but it's nice to know that something good is coming of your stay. And I recognised that when I was going out to the industry and talking to various tour operators and travel agents, about these particular properties, it was lost in translation, the good work that was being done. So from a marketing perspective, they still kept focusing on the facilities and the aesthetics of a product, of the product, essentially, not talking about the values behind it. And so I was like, well, where is the company? Where is this company that puts values before the aesthetics of luxury? And I was like, I don't think it's really out there. So my mind then started ticking. And
you went below the surface. Essentially.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe I should do it myself. So, but at the time, this was pre-COVID, had a baby, and had this niggle, this business idea. I was thinking, can we do things differently in the industry? This isn't the norm. Will that be accepted in the industry? And kind of lack some confidence as well to actually go for it.
What you did, or
me?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What was holding you back?
I always wanted to have my own business.
Right.
Always. I never knew what it was that I wanted to do. I always knew what I didn't want, but was struggling to find what I did want. And this was that kind of like aha moment. So it's like, why isn't this being done? Why aren't we changing the way that we're traveling? And why is it all about this jet setter lifestyle and the consumption side behind it? Why aren't we selling differently? And it's because it's not the norm, because isn't the norm to like build, generate more business and grow, but what if we did that in a completely different way? So that was kind of quite terrifying.
Sure.
To be honest, I was thinking about it in this way. So I had a second baby, and then COVID hit, and the travel industry, like many lifestyle kind of industries, we struggled, that everything was on its knees. And I was thinking, well, this is the wrong time to start a business. So I thought, I'm going to go to uni and I'm going to learn something. I'm going to, whilst the industry's in a tough place right now, I'm going to commit to uni for 3 years and learn and grow myself and hopefully build that confidence and see what comes out of it. So kind of going in with this mindset of having this business idea, but really thinking about with all of the different modules, well, what is the future of luxury travel? Where are we going on this journey? What is the next generation that I'm in these classrooms with? What are they looking for? What do they believe in? What are their values? And I picked up quite a lot of that while I was at uni, that gave me the confidence to go, I'm going for it. I want to do this.
This is really good. So was that because you was with the younger generation at the university?
Yeah.
So you got that more...
Oh, yeah, Luke, honestly.
fresher mindset at like...
Totally. So, yes, I came out with a degree. I studied really hard.
Yes.
But what I loved more than anything was sitting in a classroom with 18 to 21-year-olds and listening to what they had to say, because 20 years difference, in study age.
Yeah.
So, they're coming in pretty much fresh out of, A-levels, and going into uni, and I've got all of this industry experience. So I never went to uni, obviously, first time around. So I was learning from my peers, learning what they had to say, and how their values were different to my values. No right or wrong, just different. And listening to what they believe. And what is important to them, and how they make more of a considered purchase choice to resonate with that aligns with their values more perhaps than I think a lot of other generations do. And how all kinds of industries are changing to adapt to the way that the Gen Zs, this next generation coming through, are wanting to do better, buy better, take responsibility, and use the money that they're earning as a way of sometimes a protest, a boycott of certain brands and choosing other brands. I learned so much from those guys. I'm really grateful from, having that experience. I'm so glad actually that I managed to have all of that industry experience, but then go back to school essentially, and learn, because I could have obviously done that degree a lot earlier, but it probably wouldn't have had the same impact as what it's had now, because I've learnt about this next generation coming into the workplace, different than my own generation, and above. So I got as much out of that I did the actual qualification.
That's so good. I know obviously you can feel from what you've shared. Thank you for sharing that as well, because there might be people even listening in or watching this that have probably gone back to university at a later age, but you really used it to your advantage. I mean, in a way, it could be sort of not deemed as a step back, but looking at what you went to uni for with loads of young kids, but you saw it as an opportunity.
Definitely.
What did you, so with this newer, but younger generation, should I say, what did you learn the most from them? What was one thing that was apparent that you kept sort of gaining as feedback, as a mindset thing that's kind of helped you with your luxury travel business today?
The people that I was in the classroom with, they're going to be my customers, not necessarily immediately,
No.
Because they want to get into the workplace and they want to start building up their careers. But in 5 to 10 years time, they're going to be my customers. And, we need to think, when we're talking about business, we need to future-proof business. And it sounds cliche, but
it's smart though.
My thinking was, if I build a business that is for that generation, because business takes a while to build, if we're honest, it takes a lot to actually get things going.
Yeah.
But if I build it with that generation in mind, that means that I should hopefully keep on top of things and think about their needs. And then anyone else that has a similar mindset, because I think they have more of a sustainable mindset than any generation
really
before. Yeah.
In what way then?
They like I said before, really, the way that they purchase, so they will boycott brands that don't align with values, particularly from a fashion perspective at that age, they are very much about their identity. And I loved that being in a classroom, everyone was individual. They weren't always following the crowd. They enjoyed expressing themselves in a completely different way to perhaps my generation, that we saw ourselves more as fitting in. There's certain brands to make you fit in that you would wear. And that's what I loved about going to uni. Every day they were all dressed individually. They weren't just following suit because, that person's got that, particular brand. And I love that about them, that they're not following the crowd as much. So something quite special about the way they put their values forward. And expression, causes that they're into. They're proud to support certain causes.
Right.
And I love that. I really love that about them. It meant a lot. I just learned so much from them. Yeah, they were awesome.
I can tell, and there's a lot sort of going in my mind with what you're sharing, as in, I would sort of look at this they are looking at it from an aesthetic point of view, as in them say wearing designer wear, or maybe they earn their money and they kind of splash it. But actually what you're saying from experience, which I think is brilliant, by the way, and just guys listening in, is that they're not purchasing from an aesthetic point of view. They're purchasing from, like you say, a value point of view. They're not, but it's like the actual loyalty aspect, I find, as well, with these people that are investing in these, if you say premium or high, they're like religious to it, sort of thing. It's like, that is it. They're fully committed. Like, say, people standing up and wanting to do a protest or wanting to join like these top clothing brands. It is like a cult. It's like a community, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. And what I liked as well is there's, at that age, in terms of their identity, they're still kind of fathering themselves out. It's the first time, they're adults now going into an environment that's not supported, from an education perspective, and being at home, is they're fathering themselves out. They're working out their own identity, and they are really conscious on where they're shopping. They will go into charity shops a lot more and look for something that identifies with them, and very much into vintage wear.
I've noticed vintage,
so vintage is very, is really popular, and they're moving away from those fast fashion brands.
Yes, they are.
As well. And I just think I was just fascinated by watching them. And watching their behaviour, and when we're having a bit of a debate, in the classroom, listening to where their perspective on things. It's just so important to, like I say, to adapt your business to generation coming through, because otherwise all we know is what we're used to. And I would definitely, I plan to go back actually and do a master's in sustainable leadership, because I really want to push that educational side of me, because I've got a thirst for the knowledge,
right,
essentially. So I want to go and do some more studying, at some point, and just keep learning.
That's really good.
Keep it current. That's what uni helps you do.
Well, that's
it. Help you keep you current, and it's a safe place to learn. So I was very comfortable in my own skin to ask the stupid questions,
right?
Because like some environments that you can go into, in a workplace, you're scared to ask the question, because it might seem like an obvious question to everyone else, but if you haven't got some foundations in place, it can be quite intimidating, quite daunting. Definitely. And you don't want to come across as like asking a daft question. Because we're all intelligent people, and we all mean well. So I was the one that I would put my hand up, I would be asking, and I'm sure that some of them would probably roll in their eyes.
Here she is again.
Yeah, exactly. But I would ask the question. But I know some people were also relieved because they were
Because
they were intimidated and didn't want to always ask the questions, particularly in the first year of being at uni. It's all, finding their own place. But I would happily ask away, because I thought, if I cannot ask these questions now, when can I ever ask them again?
Yeah. So where did you get this mindset from, though? Because that's actually, a good mindset to have.
Where I've always had a thirst for learning.
Okay.
Always. I remember when I was younger, so at this time where early teenage years, had a great group of friends to hang out with, but not necessarily conscious of studying. So great people, great fun, but not necessarily always wanting to put their heads in the books. And I recognise it. And I don't know how I did it, but I recognise, the year before the GCSEs, I could go two ways here. I could hang out with my friends all the time, go out every night, have a great time, enjoy that popular crowd, or I could knuckle down now and study. And my mum was always really proud of me. My mum's she was a single parent. It was really tough.
Yeah.
And I think she was just proud that I actually committed to school every day, because she certainly didn't.
Right.
So I think she was just happy, that you're going to school. Whereas for me, I actually made this conscious decision to pivot into studying. I can't tell you that there was what triggered it, but I remember the feeling going, I need to change. If I want to succeed, I need to change my habits, and then became more studious in that final year of doing GCSEs to get the grades that I wanted. And so from that, really, I guess there's that mindset there of, train me. I'll absorb it. Teach me everything you know. I will take it on. I'm a good student and I apply. I've always applied. And interestingly, all of the roles that I've held, being an employee, they all said, what we love about you, Kelly, is you just get on with it. We train you and you get out there and you do your job. You get on. And I guess I was quite low maintenance as an employee.
The best employee.
But genuinely, I committed to work. I didn't ever come in like with a hangover. No, not say ever, but most of 99% of the time, I was there, fresh face. I always got up, went to the gym every morning before work.
Discipline.
Still to this day, for me, I think consistency is key. And still even now, get up and I have a consistent pattern that I work to, with working out before the kids get up in the morning, and that discipline. I guess there, but it's a mindset.
It is. So for you then, obviously you said employee. I'd love to ask now, because I know some of the audience may be interested as well, is how long was your stint in employment for?
So I did 8 years, then I left for 2 to travel the world.
Yeah, so you did 8 years employment.
8 years employment, 2 years out, and then went back in for another 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so quite some time actually.
Yeah.
Like I said, I always wanted to have my business, but I just couldn't nail what I wanted the business to be. Yeah. And by working for this company, mainly in Africa, before COVID, that really helped. And the agency that I was working with in Oxford were amazing. They're a B Corp certified agency, one of the few marketing agencies in the UK that are B Corp certified, and they have an interesting way of working. So whereas before I'd held kind of corporate roles and it was kind of like, we pay you well, so get on with the job. I worked in this agency after I'd had my first boy. And they looked after me. It was very much a completely different environment to what I'd been used to in that corporate world. They cared. They always put me on various training courses, which I loved. I thrived from that.
Learning.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Can you tell you love learning? I've got the thirst for learning. I love that though.
But they looked after me.
Yes,
They
of course.
knew I was a mum. They were the owner was female, and she had young children too, so she understood they get sick.
Relatability, yeah.
And me being the conscientious person I was, yes, the children are sick and you have to take the time to look after the kids, but I would then work in the evenings to make sure that I didn't drop the ball, keep going. That's just me.
Yeah, you committed.
Committed, yeah, absolutely. So I think when you've worked for really good companies, that really helps to see other sides of way business can work for the greater good. Essentially, it's not all about profit. I mean, you have to be profitable
100%, yeah.
before you can have more purpose, I guess, like in the way of, in order to give back, you need to be profitable in the first place.
Yes.
For sure. But it's different to being kind of like number thirsty in terms of the amount of profit that you're making for an organization. Whereas when you start to see a flip in figures, and actually when you see KPIs that are working towards the greater good. So when companies can say, right, if we produce X amount of sales, this means that we can do X, Y, and Z for our local community. We can give more hours back to help with volunteering. We can support the kitchens more. There's just a completely different mindset shift, and that's what that helped me kind of go, this travel industry needs to change. We need a different way to be thinking about the way that we're traveling, the way that we're traveling across the world, the way that we're ticking the bucket lists, and a lot of it comes from the marketing, because obviously it's like top 10 things to do before you die, and this kind of thing, and people are
it's all
just
aesthetic
setting.
again. Yeah,
It is.
But again, I guess we do live in that world, unfortunately, where everything's sort of like, show me an instant clip, show me a highlight, show me something fancy, shiny, looks amazing, but actually what people want is below the surface of,
it is.
The values, like you've spoken about.
It's very much a quiet luxury movement as well. There is a movement there that I think we show up all the time in business, and actually what we need to do is take some time out, come back, take some time out for ourselves. So I do help a lot of people with investing in themselves when they go on holiday, and investing in their family.
Right.
So it's different. People spend money, obviously a lot of money on a luxury holiday. It can be more than a car that they'll spend on a holiday, but it's not about the money. It's about, they are busy people.
Yeah.
And in order for them to carve out time for them, either for themselves or to be with their family.
Yeah.
That's the investment that they're making. So it's important that I get their holiday right, and the way that I can do that is by understanding them and tapping into their values more than the aesthetics of the spa, the kids club, the pools, the gourmet Michelin stars. And it's different. It's a different way.
So becoming a dad back in 2023 has definitely been challenging at times. Being on this entrepreneur journey, having multiple businesses, it can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. One way to kick off your personal development journey is nestled in the heart of Montenegro. Syro Boca Place offers more than just a lifestyle experience. It is the ultimate active lifestyle hotel. Whether you're looking to rejuvenate in their state-of-the-art recovery lab, take a dip in the 25-meter half Olympic pool with a retractable roof, or explore the stunning trails of Boca Bay, there is something for everyone. And if you're like me, who wants to stay active and experience what is on offer. So if you're looking to elevate your travel experience and feel better than when you arrived, to get in on the experience, head over to www.cyrohotels.com. Well, it is. It's a human way.
Yeah,
as well. You know, I mean, obviously we talk about the evolvement of like AI. Like AI would never be able to do that. It's the listening, it's questions. So, what is there a question that you ask, say, people that want to go on a holiday, luxury holiday, and it be about more than just the money and it be about the experience, or is there a way that you? I'd love to know what sort of you do to.
Yeah, I mean, I have my platform, and like Aru, you can book online with Aru, and all of the hotels there are all. I don't know if you know the framework of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, but there's this framework of 17 goals.
Right.
And before I even get to the customer, the way that I work out which hotels to work with to feature on my platform to start with, these goals, the hotels have to align with these goals.
Okay.
That I'm not looking for the glitz and the glam and the profit side of the churn. It's finding hotel owners that invest with purpose. There's a reason why that hotel, first of all, is in that community, and it's because they're supporting the community. They build differently in the way, with the materials that they use. They tend to be more sustainable materials, and some of the tech that they invest is really cool. And all of the green energy side, behind this luxury experience. And I find that a customer or a future guest resonates somehow with that. They appreciate this investment that a hotelier is making. So it goes way beyond a transaction.
Yes.
As such. So I have the platform, and then I offer the hybrid service where usually through recommendation that people come through to me and instruct me on their holiday, what their plans are. And a lot of the time, sometimes people will come in with a destination that they absolutely want to visit, but most of the time it's about the way that they want to feel and the way they want to experience with who they want to experience that with, and what they want as a result of that holiday, what they want to get out of it. It's not that tick box kind of approach anymore. It's certainly not with the customers that I want. It's about understanding them, appreciating the life that they lead. It's usually they're looking for authenticity. It's usually that they want to not have to think about what it is that they're wearing, their own aesthetic. It's about being comfortable in their own skin and not to be seen. This quiet luxury it's more, they know that the people that are going to be there have got a similar lifestyle, similar mindset, tend to be busy people that can afford these experiences. And there's also a connect as well. So a lot of the time, they're willing to take a chunk of time out because it might be the only holiday that they're going to get of the year. So they might be able to plan it for a bit longer and go a bit deeper in their travels as well and connect. And sometimes even there's their philanthropic side where they'll go and they just find that a destination has grabbed their heart, and as a result want to support local charities in that destination. So it's really quite beautiful actually when you step aside from that consumerism side of travel, and people come back making friends from their trip, wanting their businesses then to support these causes, and just think about it's almost like a bit of a profound experience when they go away. That's what they're looking for. They need a reset their mind, because they're in the day-to-day. of usually managing businesses, and need to find some time to invest in themselves and their family that can often get neglected.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, I love what you're sharing because, like you said, you're reframing it, but it's actually it's giving a vibe that probably most people wouldn't see it as from the outside. Like what I've sort of felt from hearing you is probably my pre-assumptions of it prior to being in it, should we say, is it's aesthetic. It's very status driven. You want to be deemed a certain way to what other people from the outside look. So it's sort of, but it's not that. It's like these people are actually, even though, yes, they have wealth and yes, they would prefer, luxury, but they have got meaning behind what they invest in.
Yes.
It's not just I've got the money, it's a transaction, here you go, take my money sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's actually, but what I want is I want to help this, I want to help that. So I think it's a really great sort of bit you're sharing, because I think just to people out there, watching this, is that actually, the people that are wanting luxury don't always necessarily want it to be like a show off.
Absolutely not.
Which again, in the world, we see it as that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
There's different kind of levels of luxury, I guess, isn't there? And it's quite nuanced. But I think when you live a certain lifestyle, there's a high chance that you eat organically. You consider a little bit more perhaps what you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
You might enjoy high quality linen on your bed and invest in a decent bed for a good night's sleep. So there's these certain elements that you probably still will take away with you and want to experience as kind of like a base level, essentially. So a lot of the places that I work with around the world have got their own farms. They have a really small supply chain where it could be 80% of what is served in the hotel is from their own produce, and the rest of it they try and keep it as organic, local, as possible. They work with small businesses that have a story behind them as well, and you usually find that the guests enjoy that they like to see other people supporting their local community, because that's what they want to do more in their business as well. But so they have certain standards that they'll still carry with them. But you usually find it's not anything like that opulence and that kind of pretentious style of what is often associated with luxury.
Yeah, but I think you're showing and sharing. Obviously, you've been in the industry a while. I mean, just to say that you've been in it 25 years, what you've seen, like I say, even going back to that experience backpacking.
Yeah.
For 2 years, you've done both sides of the scale. Obviously, you've seen what also people now that you deal with and customers, like what they're actually doing it for. There's a lot more to it than just what people would see from the outside. Obviously, you want to show through marketing or messaging and maybe the way that you deal with people, it showed that it can be done differently, and probably what most people wouldn't think, like you say.
Yeah, they don't know how to find it. That's what they struggle with, because like if you want to change and you want to, there's something that you strongly resonate with, whatever it might be, you will go out of your way to try and find brands that resonate with your values. And even me being in the industry as long as I have, when I vet the hotels that I want to work with, it takes a long time. It takes me months to do it well. And so a customer doesn't have that time to do that.
Right.
So I'm doing all of the groundwork for them. And that's essentially where what they're investing in a good expert, a travel expert, is knowing our onions, essentially, and knowing this is my niche, and I'm proud to have this niche, because otherwise I would just be a luxury travel agent, essentially. But when I think about the purpose and the values and the ethics and that, that sustainability side, it makes the guests feel that they're getting even more and a more enriched holiday experience, and that's really important because you want the guests, my customers, to come back and say that was one of the best holidays I've ever had.
Yeah, of
And
course. What a feeling.
yeah, what a feeling. They
Yeah.
come back feeling rejuvenated. Some will go on kind of mental well-being experiences perhaps while they're away as well. I do, I work with a lot of well-being hotels, so depending on what they want to get out of their holiday, we can tailor make everything for them.
That makes the difference though as well, that you just said there, the tailor making experience. It's like they're on a reinvention of themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's so much burnout out there.
Is that what you come across a lot then with they're a lot on burnout?
Like, you can have money, but if you're not well, what does it matter if you've got money? If we're not well, we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not connecting with our loved ones in the way that we would want to, what's the point in having the money?
Yeah, okay, this is really good. So, question for you. What's their tone like in their voice? What are they like on the phone before their retreat experience holiday with Aru to then after?
Yeah, it's there's an overwhelm.
Can you feel that?
You can hear it.
You can hear it in the voice.
You can hear it.
Fast.
They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. I try and get a thorough brief from the customer first, especially when they're new, to really get a deep brief from them. Take some time, because the more information they can give me on how they feel and what they're wanting out of that, investment, then the better I can deliver for them without wasting their time. So there's exhaustion.
Yeah.
You can hear it. There's frustration, and you build a relationship, with your customer, so that usually when they come back, then they just feel like the load has gone from the shoulders. It's different, and I think for me, I get a lot of recommendations as well from them coming back, which is the best
way to be building a business, isn't it?
Yeah,
but I think that's a skill you've got to sort of, like, I guess, encapsulate and like go, wow, I've got a skill.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of not like looking out to the market of, luxury travel and agents that sort of work with people and maybe deliver something similar to what you deliver. What would you say your unique ability is as someone that provides these experiences?
I guess, again, so going back to the earlier days, I would be the order taker. So people would call up, and I would take an order. Obviously there would be an element of suggestion, of course, as to what it is that they're looking for. But that has completely changed, and university really helped me with this, because I was able to dig deep in my own values, what it is that I believe in, and by doing that helps me to tap in to what the customer actually really needs. And also, what might be perfect for you isn't going to be perfect for your bestie. Like you're totally worlds apart. And I've heard that many times, that, such and such has come back from this place we want to go, and most of the time they're not the right fit.
Interesting.
For that.
Yeah, because people would say
it's really important.
Yeah.
It's really important to be able to say no. Like, I am not taking your money because I am of a business transaction. I am more likely to decline or, make some alternative suggestions, because you've got to get it right.
Yes.
And like I said before, it's not about the money they're investing, it's the time and the experience that they're investing in. And if I can nail that, then they're going to come back. They'll trust. You're building trust, essentially. So I guess, it's gone from being an order taker, still in that luxury space, but now being able to resonate with a customer and finding out what their values are.
Mm.
By finding out what their values are and knowing the hotels as well as I do, knowing the owners of hotels, you can find the right fit.
Yeah.
You know, you really can.
Yeah, I think a good skill that you've got, obviously you're great with relationships. But even like what you said there, I think what's really great about what you said is that you're not just, again, looking at the person with a pound sign,
No,
which
no.
you know a lot of percentage of what is out in the world, it's very much about the take and not the give.
Mm-hmm.
You're going, okay, like you're slowing down, you're checking in a little bit, and they might be saying, yeah, but so and so, like you say, so and so said, gotta go here, it's great. Look, I've got the money, I'm have to spend it. You're like,
Yeah.
great, but let's find out about you, what it is you want, and stuff like that. And I think, you know, where you said, I want to go back to that period where you said that when you first set up your business, you knew what you didn't want,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't know what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So when was that moment when you was like, I know what I want now, and I'm gonna
Yeah. So
yeah,
I had my aha moment
right.
on a rowing machine.
Oh wow, what, just in the gym or at home?
At home.
Oh no way.
I was at home. It was just before Christmas, and I was trying to help some then hoteliers and business, trying to help them out, help to solve their problems. How can I help them do better? And kind of came up. It came to it kept coming back to values. So when a hotelier has such strong values, in all luxury marketing, there's nothing is really portrayed. You know, in our industry, you get glossy brochures,
Oh, right,
beautiful
yeah.
websites, but it's really hard to tap into values. Like, how do we do this? And then I was just rowing my little heart out.
Hot rate up.
And just something was like, why doesn't this company exist? Like, how do I get the messaging across better? And it's because there's a set frame in that luxury space of what luxury looks like. Certainly in luxury hospitality and luxury travel, it's like we need to pivot away from this. And it's like, why isn't this being done? And and from that moment, and then with university as well, every module that I did, I was like, had this kind of business idea. I was like, what can I get out of this module that is going to enhance that business idea, that's going to cement it? You know, because you start off with a few ideas. And because at uni, you have a certain, subject, a particular module that you're going to cover, but it's and you'll find these days that sustainability is weaved into everything in one way, shape, or form. That it's weaved in there somewhere, and you're always going to get extra marks for covering it. So for me, it was a biggie, and it really helped to dig deep and research, and I made the most, even when it wasn't it was the holidays. It was I would study, because I realized I had all of these tools available to me that I wouldn't have normally had. So it's like, right, okay, so we've got the summer off, but how can I use those tools to benefit my business idea? So I was doing all of this to keep refining my idea, that gave me then the confidence to go out and do it. So an initial idea from being on the rowing machine to then using every tool available to me. Even my the lecturers were so supportive. Me being there, obviously, mum, 2 kids, going into that environment, juggling, not having a night's sleep, and trying just showing up. They were really, I think they quite admired that I was doing that. So I would always ask their opinion, on certain elements as well, or ask for help. So I guess the initial aha moment through to working it out, and coming out of uni going, right, I'm going for it. A lot.
yeah,
It was a lot.
yeah,
Because for someone that was lacking confidence,
yeah.
because it was like, I want to have my own business, but I don't know what I want to be, but I know that I would be good at it.
So
But what is it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
where did you build the confidence? Where did you find it to just go for it?
There's always self-doubt. Always some self-doubt, and I need to get, I'll say that to everyone, you almost need to get over yourself. Like, you need to keep putting yourself forward and realizing that we're all on a learning journey here, and it's okay to kind of not get it right first time. So coming out of uni, I was like, right, I have a business plan, have everything put down, have my vision boards, have it all going on. But actually, quickly, like, whilst the plan is still there, the way that I'm getting to it is so deviated.
Yeah.
I'm pivoting,
Yeah.
constantly pivoting, to still get there, because at the moment, like with the platform, it is something that is it's scalable, the platform itself, and it's something that at some point I'd love to go for investment with. So there's the tech side, and it's interesting because I think I am a travel expert. I am proud of my craft. However, when it comes to business, there's a whole new skill set that I've got to learn. It's like you start out, you're a PT instructor, but that's just what you're great at. But then you've got everything else that is a whole new journey to learn, social media.
Oh, it's a minefield.
Yeah.
It can be a lot, but you can't do it on your own though.
No. And it's finding the right people that can help you.
Yeah, that's...
And my husband is amazing. He's got my back too.
Good.
He's really supportive. We both work really hard, work really long hours, but we believe in one another, and
that's important.
We have Tuesday date nights to try and keep the connection going.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you just spontaneously, or do you generally book something out?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
We try not to do cinema because that would be too easy.
Yeah.
We're both exhausted. Because what it's like, sometimes it's hard you're so exhausted that you having a new conversation, but you need to keep the connection alive. And we chose a Tuesday night because sometimes the weekends can be busy.
Yeah, sure. And kids as well doing stuff.
Yeah. So we come together every Tuesday and usually go out for dinner somewhere. It doesn't even have to be not always. Sometimes we do something fancy. Other times less so. Yeah, exactly. The local pub is just as good. But it's more about coming together, talking about our week. Obviously the kids play a big part in that conversation as well, but it's the best thing that we could have done, actually. So because I did find when I left uni, because I'd focused so hard to do the best that I could and take the most out of this opportunity, that my poor husband was probably feeling a bit neglected, because uni and then a toddler and a newborn, getting little sleep. He was really on the back seat, so we made a conscious effort to reconnect. We had some talking therapy as well to help us revive our marriage. Really.
Did it feel then? Obviously now you sharing that. Was there a moment or any times where it felt like you were growing apart, or was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much growing apart, but definitely a disconnect in the way that it was we found ourselves following a routine.
Yeah.
And then going off, he would go off studying, doing, working into the wee hours, and then I was studying into the wee hours as well. And the only thing, not the only thing, that's not true, but we found that we were talking logistics with about the kids, and not talking about one another's days and what future plans and where we're at with one another, and having empathy for one another. That was missing because it was more that kind of transactional, that's probably not the right word,
It was
but
like
logistical.
ticking
It was
boxes.
logistical.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the time. So we've really really fortunate to have brought that back and
Yeah,
have
connection.
a really thriving marriage.
Good.
As a result.
I think though as well that I appreciate you sharing that, okay, because I think there's probably a lot of people here as well. That could be a fear for people that maybe are in an employed role and sort of maybe both partners know the shift patterns, know when they got the time off together, but maybe there might be one side that is wanting to take that leap.
Yeah,
maybe
it's hard.
yeah.
It's hard
What
people.
would you say was sort of the best thing for both you and Alex in this period of working things through that sort of really helped you guys reconnect and be stronger than ever?
We knew, I mean, our marriage was not at the end by any means.
No.
We just wanted some help to get it back, because kids take over, don't they?
Yes.
So we kind of wanted
responsibility-wise,
to get some of that pre-kids kind of feeling
Bit
and
of fun back of it, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so we outsourced and we got some help.
Okay.
And by getting that help, it just really helped from one week to the next, working on our marriage. And I think we always have to work on our relationships, because it's easy to kind of take people for granted. And Alex showed up for me to be able to go and study. He stepped up, and I have immense gratitude for him to allow me to do that. In the sense of giving me the time out and saying, go and study, go and educate yourself, go on this journey. To give me that backing was amazing. So in my way, it's the least that I can do for him to be present for him, be present for one another. Really get the phones put away, not have the TV on, and talk. It's
communication.
hard.
Yeah,
it is.
I can imagine.
Because we just get caught up, don't we? Running a business, managing the family, running around so much. We can take each other for granted sometimes, and it just really helps us to connect.
So this is good. So obviously you outsourced. You've obviously put boundaries in place. So a boundary is Tuesday date night. What other boundaries have you guys both committed to help with your relationship?
Yes. So Alex and I both work during the school. What we decided to do was, we were obviously both self-employed. We have the kids in school. Both of them are into school now. So we've got to work out what we're going to do with the kids for 12 weeks of the year. And we've made this conscious decision to, during term time, we graft. And we put in all of the hours that we need to put in for our businesses, to demonstrate success from a business perspective. And then it comes to half term, and we pause. We take some time back. So what we do is, instead of being proactive, we become reactive.
Yes.
For that week. So we've got the 6 weeks coming up. We're doing a gorgeous journey through Europe with the children this year. And so we both take our laptops. There are times where we'll have to work. But overall, the idea is to spend quality time as a family unit. And that works for us because you've got those 6 to 7 weeks where the children are in school. I get up every morning, Monday to Friday at 5:30, to work out, to look after myself, work all day, do all the logistics with the children, so on. And then that week that they might have off, I don't work out. I don't have an alarm clock. We wake up when we wake up. We spend the time with the children. That's often just little day trips. We play a lot of board games, card games with the kids, and we really love that time. And we know that we've just grafted for 7 weeks before the half term. So nothing goes into our diaries. We try and schedule nothing in our diary for when the children are off, and that really helps with making it work for us, for our family unit, to build in all of those school holidays. No, we know obviously that you can earn more by, working during those 12 weeks, but actually for us, family time is so precious. These kids are only little for such a short amount of time in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I don't want the children always thinking about us being on our phones and going, just 1 minute, and that does happen during term time, don't get me wrong. But when it's the school holidays, we're present with the
really
children.
Good.
And so there's going to be a time when I think children go through different stages of needing you, don't they?
Yeah.
And our 2 boys, they're full on. They've got bags of energy. They want our time. But we know that my eldest now, he's 8. By the time he goes to secondary school, not going to be that long away now. He'll want me in a different capacity. It's not going to be cool to be hanging around with mum and dad as much, but he'll still want us, but on a different capacity. And so when that time comes, we can look if we want to step up with next stage of our careers. But right now, while they're little, we're holding on to those moments, so they kind of bedding down and cherishing what the children are giving to us, just by being present for them and showing up for them.
And so this is amazing. It's quite refreshing to hear, to be honest, because it's something that, as being a young dad, it's something that I'm really ingraining through, obviously mine and Abby's sort of life with Remy is that presence and ensuring that, like you say, we're not. I mean, we did, like I say, you catch yourself sometimes on your phone, like, come on, get off your phone, sort of thing. But the way I just love the dynamic that you've got. I think it's quite inspirational, and obviously, like you say, over time when your kids grow up, it's going to obviously pay back more than any pound, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
What have you seen already though, or what have you and Alex seen already within the boys by being present through these holidays so far? Is there anything that you could share with our audience on that?
Well, they want less screen time.
Okay.
Yeah, they we give the boys an amount of screen time per day, and then when we're off, they're not using that screen time because they're so happy to be hanging out with us, which is amazing because I know that's not going to last forever.
You're obviously a cool mum.
But they're just too young to know any different. I think, really. But they're present. They're more present. We don't have as many arguments, to try and get them off the screens, that kind of thing. They seem happier.
Yeah.
In themselves as well. And that time is it's a happier time. It's less because you haven't got the rigidness of it as well, with like the logistics of a day and so on. They like that freedom. So it's kind of making the most of the school situation. How can we embrace these holidays when you've got your own businesses, and to see the children so happy and to see them wanting to just go out on their bikes and go to the park or like strawberry picking. They love that. They eat more strawberries than they than they take home, but just being in that moment is really special. And Alex and I were raised so differently. My mom's single parent. She was out all the time. She had to work, and I'm so grateful that she did that she stepped up for me. But obviously mum wasn't around as much to have to be able to build all of those special memories. So I'm trying to give my kids kind of what I didn't have, without spoiling them too much. And Alex, he went to boarding school, so he has a very different dynamic with his parents, and he's such a fantastic dad. He is so present with them. He is a bit like a third kid sometimes, to be fair.
That's class.
But he's great. He's great fun. Kids love hanging out with him. He can get on their level.
Yeah,
a bit better than
me. Yeah. Oh no, that's brilliant. I really like that, and it's sort of like a good final. Because we are getting towards the end of the episode. I know it's just boom, flew by. But I want to ask this question because I think this is always a nice piece, especially when you've just been sharing what you've been sharing anyway. It goes really well. it's obviously part of the sort of podcast name. You've probably heard it come at the end of each episode. So I'd love to know from your perspective, Kelly, what does mastering your life mean to you?
I guess taking back control, because life can run away with us.
Yeah, yeah.
And giving ourselves freedom and presence. And I think that's really difficult. You know, life throws all kinds of things our way, and we have to take them in that time, and it can be difficult. So if mastering my life is about being present, clearing my mind as well, having a clearer outlook on what it is that I'm looking for. And I think consistency really helps with that that mastery.
Yes,
essentially.
yes.
Like that's something that I am good at, is being consistent. And I'm finding joy in the smallest of places.
That's good.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an unbelievable sort of conclusion, because something was screaming at me. It's a quote that I come across. I don't know who it's by. I need to find. Ownership conveys freedom. So that way, said it was like the control, the freedom, and obviously I know you said consistency, but all those things sort of like intertwine really, really well.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. So thank you for sharing that. That was really good.
Oh,
I'm hearing control a lot now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hearing people say control, because like you say, life can sort of run away from you.
It can, can't it? Yeah, we just don't know what we're going to get thrown our way, do we? With life, with our loved ones.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of taking ownership and having that, finding your own freedom. With it, it's harder to master.
Yeah, that definitely is. Yeah, especially because of the amount of distractions and things that can just take your attention away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So look, if people here are going, I want to connect with you, I want to find you, I want to know a little bit more about what you do. I mean, obviously you've shared it really well. Where's the best place that people can find you?
LinkedIn.
Yes, we'll put that in there. Yeah,
we connected, didn't we?
We did
on LinkedIn. I love a bit of LinkedIn. Obviously my website, arucollective.com. People can get in contact with me there.
What does Aru mean, just so people know?
Aru is, it means the heavenly paradise. So it's all about, it comes from Egyptian mythology, so it's more about doing well today for a better life tomorrow. So it's a bit of depth.
Woohoo! We like below the surface. No, so that's great. So we've got LinkedIn, obviously the website. Would you say they're the best place?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. We can put email address in the show notes, or
whatever is easiest, whatever you're happy to share, we'll make sure that's all in there. But final thing from myself, and I know Oliver behind the camera as well. Thank you for joining us and coming up from Oxford to
having me.
It's been awesome. Really enjoyed it.
It's been great. It's been such a long time, like you say, since we spoke, and here we are finally.
I know, happened so quickly. Great stuff. Well, thanks again anyway.
Cheers, Luke.